It's not worth
Professor Chen
it.
spent the next hour
I'll
studying the
do
notebook.
this
He
and
didn't
this
just
for the
skim.
two.
He read every page, checked every calculation, compared diagrams to known specifications of the Sterling hybrid. His expression grew more troubled with each page. Finally, he looked up at Riley. "This is unquestionable. Your father designed the Sterling hybrid system. Every major every efficiency improvement. It's all here in his handwriting, dated months before Sterling filed their patent." "Can you testify to that?" Mr. Tony asked. "Absolutely. But Riley, you need to understand what you're up against." Professor Chen's voice was serious. "Sterling Automotive is worth billions. They've built their reputation on this technology. If you prove they stole it, you're not just taking money from them, you're destroying their credibility, potentially opening them up to lawsuits from every company they've licensed the technology to." "Good," Riley said firmly. "They deserve it. Maybe so. But they won't go down without a fight. You need legal representation. Real legal representation. Not a public defender or a small-time lawyer. You need someone who can stand up to Sterling's legal team." Riley's phone buzzed again. Another email. This one from a law firm. "Morrison and Associates. Pro bono representation offer." She opened it, hardly daring to hope. "Ms. Thompson, we saw the video of you repairing Mr. Sterling's vehicle. We've also been made aware of your father's stolen intellectual property. Our firm specializes in corporate theft cases, and we'd like to offer our services pro bono. If your father's notebooks contain what we believe they do, this case could set a precedent for protecting individual inventors' rights against corporate theft." "Mr. Tony," Riley said, her voice shaking, "I think I just got a lawyer." By the time they left the university, the video had 5 million views. News outlets were picking up the story.
What is
Girl genius fixes billionaire's car was trending on 3 platforms, and Dominic Sterling had released a statement. Riley read it on her phone as Mr. Tony drove her home.
the
Yesterday,
best swaggy
I had
bros
the
are gonna
pleasure of
catch
meeting a
you.
talented young person who helped with a minor vehicle issue. While I appreciate her enthusiasm, I want to clarify that the repair was temporary and required professional attention afterward. I've sent a donation to her local school's STEM program as a thank you. I wish her well in her future endeavors. Riley felt rage building in her chest. He's making it sound like I'm just some cute kid who helped him out, like it was nothing. Of course he is, Mr. Tony said. He's trying to control the narrative before you can, making himself look generous. You look like a charity case he's helping. It's classic PR damage control. What do? You tell the truth. Your truth. Your father's truth. Mr. Tony pulled up to Riley's apartment building. And you do it before he can bury it under lawyers and corporate spin. Riley climbed out of the truck. But Mr. Tony called her back. Kid, one more thing. Your father used to come into my shop sometimes years ago, before he made it big at Sterling. He'd talk about his daughter, about how you'd sit in the garage with him for hours just watching him work. He said you had a gift, that you understood engines the way some people understand music. Mr. Tony's voice was thick with emotion. He'd be so proud of you right now. Not because you fixed a fancy car, but because you're fighting for what's right. That's the real inheritance he left you. Not just mechanical skills, but the courage to stand up when something's wrong. Riley nodded, not trusting herself to speak. Inside the apartment, her mom was waiting. Sarah had clearly been crying, her phone in her hand showing the video that was reshaping their lives. Riley, baby, we need to talk about this, Sarah started. Mom, I got a lawyer, a real one, pro bono, and a professor who'll testify that Dad invented the Sterling hybrid. The words came out in a rush. We can prove it. We can make them admit what they did. Sweetheart, I've been down this road. I tried. You tried alone, with no money and no attention, Riley interrupted. But Mom, 5 million people have watched me embarrass Dominic Sterling. The internet is on our side. Reporters want to talk to me. We're not alone anymore. Sarah pulled Riley into a tight hug. I'm scared. These people are powerful. They can hurt us. They already did, Riley said into her mother's shoulder. They took Dad. They took his work. They took credit for his genius. How much more can they hurt us? Sarah held her daughter tighter, and Riley felt her mother's tears on her neck. Okay, Sarah whispered. Okay, we fight, but we do it smart. We don't talk to anyone until we talk to that lawyer. We don't make any statements until we're sure we can back them up. Deal? Deal. That night, Riley couldn't sleep. She kept checking her phone, watching the view count climb. 6 million. 7 million. People sharing their own stories of being dismissed, mocked, underestimated because of their age or background or appearance. At midnight, she got a text from an unknown number. This is Claire Morgan, VP of Engineering at Sterling Automotive. We need to talk. What happened to your father was wrong. I have information that could help you, but we can't do this publicly. Can we meet? Riley stared at the message for a long time. Then she took a screenshot and forwarded it to the lawyer from Morrison and Associates. Within minutes, she got a response. Do not respond. Do not meet with anyone from Sterling without legal counsel present. They're trying to get ahead of this. Let them worry. Your father's notebooks are our evidence. Their desperation is our confirmation that they know you're right. Stay quiet. Stay strong. We move forward together. Riley set down her phone, pulled out notebook number 7, the one with the most detailed schematics of the Sterling hybrid system. Her father's handwriting.
Bananito bandito.
Neat, precise, brilliant. I'm going to make them say your name, Dad, Riley whispered to the empty room. I'm going to make sure everyone knows you invented this. I promise. Outside her window, Detroit slept. But across the city, in a penthouse office, Dominic Sterling was awake too. And he was afraid. The lawyer's office was nothing like Riley had imagined. She'd expected intimidating wood paneling and leather chairs, but Morrison and Associates occupied a renovated warehouse in Midtown Detroit with exposed brick walls and floor-to-ceiling. Dad ran into gunpoint. to save a cop what he and his dog had shot the entire police force. In the chaos of gunfire echoing through downtown streets, as terrified citizens scrambled for cover, one man inexplicably ran straight into the line of fire. On the blood-stained concrete, a female police officer lay crumpled, crimson spreading across her bulletproof vest. No one dared approach, but he did, alongside his loyal German shepherd, racing forward to drag her to safety. The entire city witnessed it. The whole police department stood stunned. A mechanic father had done what even trained officers hesitated to do. Nathan Carter had never imagined his Saturday morning would unfold like this. At 36, the former Marine had carefully constructed a quiet life in Boston's suburbs, far from the violence that once defined his days. His powerful frame, standing 6 feet tall with muscles earned through years of military service, moved with practiced efficiency through his auto repair shop each day. The sun-weathered skin and short brown hair flamed eyes that held depths of experience. Gray-blue orbs that had seen too much, lost too much. A faint scar ran along his left shoulder, a permanent reminder of Fallujah, though that wasn't the wound that hurt most. 3 years had passed since cancer stole Sarah from him. 3 years since he'd held his wife's hand as she slipped away in a sterile hospital room, her once vibrant spirit finally surrendering to the disease that consumed her from within. He traded his dress blues for coveralls that day, walking away from a military career that suddenly meant nothing without her to come home to. The only thing that mattered now was Astrid, their daughter, 8 years old with her mother's honey blonde hair, and those same striking blue eyes that could shift from laughter to concern in a heartbeat. Astrid was everything. Smart beyond her years, she devoured comic books and fantasy novels with equal enthusiasm, often reading to Rex, their 5-year-old German shepherd, as if he understood every word. Perhaps he did. The dog had come into their lives shortly after Sarah's death. A puppy Nathan had impulsively adopted from a shelter, thinking Astrid needed something to love that wouldn't leave her. Rex had grown into 70 pounds of loyalty and protection, his black and tan coat gleaming with health, his intelligent eyes always tracking Astrid's movements. Their neighborhood in Dorchester had changed in recent years. Once a working-class haven where everyone needed neighbors.